I want you guys to think about something. Worship is not music. Worship is not songs. Those are expressions of worship. Worship cannot be confined to a box. Worship is simply our connection to Him. That's it. This one thing. The songs, the dance, the painting, the singing, all of that are expressions of worship. They're expressions that flow out of that place. But worship, simply put, keeping it out of the box, is just this connection that we have to God. So, this is kind of what I want to see happen in the church corporately, in worshipers. I'm talking about everyone. I'm not talking about people playing instrument and sing. I am talking about everybody, the church, the worshipers. This is, in this reformation that we are in, this progressing revival that we don't want to end. We don't want this to be something that ages from now, they're going back then in that revival. But it's this thing that is constantly growing. Worship has a place in that. And worship has to grow. It has to change. It has to move forward and progress. This is what happens to us. We go through our week and we have life. We have jobs, we have kids, we have families, we have friends, we have our bad days, our good days, we have school, we have lots of things going on. And then we come to church on Sunday and we say, okay, pastor, okay, worship team, get me connected again. And the worship team sings their 2 or 3 fast praise songs. Then they sing their kind of 2 or 3 kind of in-between songs. And then they do like the more intimate songs. And, you know, we got to start off with this way. And we got to do it this way because we got to get everyone in. And we got to get people reconnected. You guys know what I'm talking about? Okay? Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. This is just where we're at right now as a church. But I am saying we can't stay here. We can't stay in this place. Imagine what would worship be like if everyone corporately came in already connected, ready to go, saying, I don't need a song to get me connected again. I don't need anyone to do anything to conjure something up inside of me because I fought all week long for this connection because it is the most important thing in my life. How amazing would worship be? How much deeper could we go? What would it be like? How much of God's presence, even more, could we consume in these times of corporate gathering? It blows my mind to think about how that could be. I have a well inside of me. We all do. We all have this well inside of us. It is our job and our responsibility to keep it full. Full does not equal to the rim. Full equals overflowing. There's a constant pouring in and a constant pouring out. And whatever I got to do to keep that well filled, that's what I'm going to do. Because we all feel that. Like, say you go to a conference and you get revved up, you get refreshed, you get renewed, you get something restored in you. Something gets jolted awake and you come home and you're like, all right, things are going to change, family. We're going to do this and this and this. And you set out your goals for your week. And this is what happens. You start doing it and maybe you get bored. Or maybe you don't have some crazy encounter and the angel Gabriel didn't come and tell you what to do next year. And maybe, like all these things happen and we start to detach and become disconnected and we pull back further. And then here we are, we're waiting for Sunday to reconnect. Or if you don't really enjoy your worship at your church, you're just waiting for the next conference, which who knows when that is, right? Like we all do this all the time. Like I remember so many times just even coming into worship and going, why do I feel like I've got to, work it up. Why does it feel that way? And I started getting this revelation like, oh, this connection. Where is it going in my week? What's happening to that? What's happening? And keeping that connection alive. This is what it looks like. At any moment, I can go to the grocery store and I can be standing in line and I can stop, boom, what I'm doing right there, and I can worship Jesus with all that is within me, with all the passion inside of me, right then and there, because this connection is alive. It is alive. It is connected. And I don't have to go and try and get any songs or whatever. I don't go, oh, excuse me, is there anyone here in the grocery store that can play a song for me right now? I just feel a need to worship and I need you to kind of work something up in me. Like, no way. Like, I want this connection alive. I want to see a church where people come and they are like, I am connected. I'm ready to go. And I don't need songs or this or that. And I'm not trying to say songs are bad. I'm not trying to say we don't sing songs. I'm just trying to say, what would it be like if we come already connected? That at the very start, bam, we're there. We're in his presence because we know how to get there. We know how to be in his presence. We're familiar with this connection, staying there, staying connected. This is the key. Having an unoffended heart. That is the key right there. Because this is what we do. I will tell you right now, there's probably not a day that doesn't go by in my life that this ugly thing dares to pop its head up against me, and I have to chop that head off again and keep that thing down. This thing that says, but why did that stuff happen? God, where were you? You're God, and you're so big. And these things that happened to me, these traumatic things, these hurtful things, where were you? Why couldn't you stop those things from happening? You, God, in all your power, the creator of all the universe, who holds the earth in his hand, why did those things happen? And when I don't get my answers, I go, you don't get all of me. And I am withholding my heart and withholding my worship. And I might worship you like this much, but you're not really going to get a passionate, alive, laying it all out, all my worship, because I want answers. My heart is offended. My heart is offended, and I can't get to a deep place with God because I'm hurt and I'm offended. This thing will eat us alive if we allow it to. I deal with this all the time. Every day in my life I deal with this. This is like the battle of my life. Dealing with going, I mean, it is an amazing thing to be able to come to God and say, God, you know what? I don't need the answers, because more than I want answers, I want you. I want you more than I want answers. What would our worship be like if we could even get there? Because how many of us are in that place? Some of us are there and don't even know it. We're going, gosh, why can't I get deeper with God? Why can't I have a more connected relationship? Why don't I feel something? Maybe there's a place in your heart that's had an offense, that's pulled back as a natural reaction. I got hurt, I got burned, ouch, ouch. I pull back. But to be able to press through the pain and press through all that stuff and say, it is of little importance compared to being with God.